completely close it.
All right.
If you don't, it won't make the loop because it will hear and it will broadcast.
Got it. So you get a
Right.
feedback.
Yeah. And so then you also want your communication.
Okay.
If you're
I didn't know where it was.
All right, you're live. And 7 o'clock.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
it is 7 o'clock. This is the Harpers Ferry Town Council meeting, 13th of July, 2026. And everyone is present except for Greg Vaughn and David Simmons. And stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the agenda. I have one item to remove, and that would be 5G2.
What was that one, Kenny?
5G2, the ordinance. Anyone have anything else?
Move to approve the agenda as amended.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. And public comments. First one is Jacob Light.
Thank you all for the opportunity to speak. My name is Jacob Light, and I'm here on behalf of the Jefferson County Foundation, and I would like to talk today to address the agenda and minutes. I want to speak about some potential Open Meetings Act issues. It seems like someone may be just forgetting to upload the minutes onto the City of Harpers Ferry website. The minutes for this very own body haven't been updated since February earlier this year. And in fact, none of the other town bodies have their minutes uploaded for the year, like the Water Commission or Budget and Finance Committee. These public records should be easily available. Not all people who work a 9-to-5 job can make their way down to Town Hall and request a copy of the minutes. And if they missed a meeting or wanted to know how a certain agenda item was voted on. And then we also wanted to speak on the timely notice of agendas. It is stated on the Public Ethics Commission website that regular meetings require a 3-business day notice, but I received the agenda last night at 7 p.m. It is possible that these agenda and/or minutes have been posted physically somewhere. However, this is certainly not as transparent as you could be with the public in 2026. The minutes and agendas should be posted online where the vast majority of the public can see them. You can post them outside in addition to posting them online, but we do ask that you rededicate to the Open Meetings Act, timely post minutes and agendas, and consider posting them online and where a majority of people can access them. Thank you for the time to speak and listen to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zach Morse.
Good evening, Council. I just wanted to talk here at the top for agenda item, I think it's 3C, public comments or public announcements. Since Parks and Rec's not on the agenda tonight, I just wanted to thank everybody who came out to the music at the gazebo last night and remind everyone that for the next at least 2 Sundays, hopefully 3 Sundays in a row, we'll have music out there in the middle of town. It's a really fun event. And also, on behalf of our neighbors in Bolivar, they're celebrating their bicentennial, 200th anniversary of Bolivar this Saturday, July 18th at 1 p.m., starting at 1 p.m. at their children's park. So lots of fun things coming up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
I did not get to go, but I had several people tell me that the music at the gazebo was fantastic. Appropriate, pleasant, fun, sorely needed are just a few of the things that people have said. It was a really good time. I'm looking forward to the one after this one. And thank you for putting that together. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Item 1, mayor's announcements. I just have one. Christy Huddle and her husband
Christy has served on the tree commission for almost 18 years, and her husband served for a number of years. I'm not quite sure how many. And 6.
Yeah, something like that. I think it's
And as they go on their new way in life, I wish them good luck, and I thank them very much for their service to the tree committee. Reporters' comments and updates. That's it. 3 community announcements. Hilltop Hotel. No one. National Park Service.
Evening, council. Have a few announcements from the park. The Byron Bridge Staircase Project. Always at the top of the list. The anticipated closure of the staircase and activation of the shuttle service from the Park Visitor Center over the C&O Canal is expected to start on or about July 20th. Once this phase of the project begins and the temporary staircase is removed, the pedestrian access over to C&O will be inaccessible for about 3 or 4 weeks. That's what we're being told now. Could be longer. Everything is really up to the contractor and whatever issues they may run into. So, geotechnical work at the train station. Amtrak is going to be working in the train station parking lot on Thursday, July 23rd, and again from Monday the 27th through Thursday the 30th of July. The east and west ends of the parking lot will be blocked off, stage equipment, and for public safety during the micro drilling operations. Okay, we think at times this could be almost half of the parking lot. Okay, parking will be extremely limited.
What were those
More
dates?
so than usual.
What were the dates?
They're starting on Thursday the 23rd, and then they're not working Friday, Saturday, or Sunday at our request.
Good.
They will start working again on Monday and work through Thursday the following week.
Mm-hmm.
So if there are, I would encourage you, if you have neighbors and friends who use that lot, please let them know. We will send a note when we have confirmation of those dates. We will send a note to the mayor's office so that he can let everybody in town know. Okay. Today we actually made a closure of the presidential steps in at the point. We had Park Service structural engineers come over and take a look at it just to see how she was doing and determine that it was really not safe for visitors to be on, so we closed it. This is an indefinite closure. I don't know how long it's going to take us to repair this. We may have to replace the entire set of stairs. So please be aware of that. That particular staircase, as you are probably aware, is very convenient, but it is not actually necessary for access to either the point or the shoreline of the confluence. You can go around under the trestle, so access is still open. It's just the staircase itself is going to be closed for a while. And then finally, of course, coming up, Appalachian Chamber Music Festival is coming once again to the Storer College campus on August 7th, 7 o'clock. This is a free concert. The concert will celebrate America. It's a 250th American 250th event, celebrating 2 American icons of music, Don Redman and George Gershwin. Concert will be about 50 to 75 minutes. We do encourage anyone interested to reserve a space at the Appalachian Chamber Music Festival's website, appalachianchamber.org. Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, any other announcements? Okay, here are none. For approval of minutes, the regular minutes for last month are not available right now. The 13 April minutes, have we received those?
Not certain.
Yeah, I wasn't present at that meeting. I'm not sure who took notes or took minutes at that meeting.
Probably me.
Okay. So hopefully we'll have them next month.
Yep.
Special meeting 27th February, same thing. we'll have to hold those. Town reports, Landmarks Commission.
Folks, it's good to be back. The HLC met on June 18th with 4 members present. At that meeting, we did the following. We discussed clarifications to Appendix A on windows and siding. No action was taken. We then had discussion and action on porch railings for 1227 West Bridge. The motion, to paraphrase, was that natural materials were recommended, but alternative materials are acceptable that have the same appearance. The vote on that was unanimous 4-0. We had discussion of the effects of the HLC recommendations on the decisions of the OCO and the BZA. And no action was taken on that. And finally, we had discussion and action on blighted and vacant properties, an initiative that's been going on for 2 to 3 months at the HLC. The motion, to paraphrase, is to send a draft correspondence to the West Virginia Division of Economic Development and others, addressing the blighted property on the site of the former Hilltop Hotel. I'd like to make a comment here about that to town council members, to my fellow citizens and members of the press. The Historic Landmarks Commission has asked the state of West Virginia to end a blight that is eating at the heart of our town's economy, as well as our history. For 18 years, we've been looking forward to a hotel. After 18 years, we still have nothing. It's time to make it happen. Thank you very much. And that's the report.
Thank you, George.
Thank you.
Thanks, George.
Planning Commission.
Evening, Council. Planning Commission met last month, and it was a relatively short meeting. We finished the comprehensive plan, so that's good. There are 2 main points of discussion. One, which was moving forward, we're going to work on a comprehensive infrastructure plan, or infrastructure coordination plan. No action was taken on that yet. Just initial discussion based on all the information that we did compile for the comprehensive plan. And then the second item that we spent a while discussing is actually the next item on your agenda. So if you want to interrupt that, which was at the request of Mayor Vaughn, we discussed some incursions into rights of way. The specific example that was requested of us is a paper street. So we looked at a few, not just the one, but a few other. It turns out there's multiple instances of folks who have moved things or planted plants onto town rights of way. And since rights of way fall into planning, that's how it came to us. The initial request about was a handful of trees, sort of deferring to tree commission, since that's purview tree commission. And I'll make sure it's on the next agenda since that's here on both. And then the general consensus was to just be cautious that we're even in the application of remediation of any of these encroachments onto right of way. So our first initial recommendation is to establish a few more of, we have these little wooden bollards on several of the paper streets in town with a sign that says right of way. Our recommendation was to get those installed on as many passable, walkable rights of way in town as possible. So that way folks are aware. I think part of the issue is that folks just don't know where some of the paper streets begin and end. So if we bringing that to council for discussion and potential approval, if we can get that, I think that's a good first step. And then we work with Kevin, the CEO, on figuring out where specific encroachments are and how to remediate them. But that's what we have for.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Kevin, on that item, we had discussed also a notice in the town newsletter that would go out about the encroachments on paper streets. And I have a statement here, a draft, for you guys to consider. I will read it once everybody has it, just so you know. And the idea would be this would go into the August, September, and October newsletter with the clarification that after 90 days, which would be October the 11th, 2026, that due to liability concerns, existing resident and business modifications to paper streets are non-compliant with regulations and no future modifications will be permitted. The town will not be responsible for damages to existing modifications to property on paper streets after October 11, 2026. Residents and businesses are encouraged to remove any property from paper streets prior to that date.
I don't know if I can, one thing to highlight is that it is not just paper streets, it's streets, rights of way in general.
Yeah, but this was specific for paper streets. Remember we discussed the rights of way that we didn't really have a good method for.
It's true, I just want to make sure, because the consensus from planning is to make sure that it's even and equal across the board. So I know that we've discussed paper streets, but there's just being clear that there are incursions on other rights of way that are often in town. The paved portion of the right of way does not reach the entire width of the street, and often is not in the center of the street, especially on the older roads in town. So in this effort of first step, making sure folks know, town doesn't always know where the rights of way begin and end, but just highlight.
Well, that was why we started with the paper streets. And so I would move that statement be included in the August, September, and October newsletters and posted on the bulletin boards.
I second.
Okay. Any further discussion on that?
Just one. I don't think it reads this way, but it does not sanction, or does it, anything that was put on the paper streets prior to this date?
It does. It says any and all improvements or modifications to paper streets are not in compliance. Which is existing resident business modifications to paper street are non-compliant with regulation.
Okay, great.
I think from the discussion, planning commission took in general, there wasn't a true motion except for the part about those bollards, but it seemed the consensus was that materials, plants, things that are within the right of way that are permanently affixed there are on town property and could be viewed as town property if we needed to do maintenance or make adjustments. So while it is not required of us to make this notification, it's again a good first step to make sure that we're reaching equal and equitable solution to any issue.
Yeah, it's not like we're
Stop future
right.
stuff.
Well, that's it. You know, it's dealing with two issues. It's the legacy problems and then preventing them in the future. And this is not to say the bulldozers are not going to roll on October 12th, but after October 11th, when the town has to do something, it's going to do it. And if people's modifications or property is damaged in the process, then that's on them.
If I can just briefly switch to my tree commission hat, there are extra rules about the prevention of damage to trees within or next to town rights of way that come into play, specifically trees, so that by next month, tree commission will have a more detailed recommendation on what to do with trees that may or may not have been intended to exist in the right of way. So more coming.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor of the motion? Unanimous. Thank you.
And the second part was the discussion of the approval of the.
That's on down in the new business.
I think it's only here. I didn't see
The bollards,
it. Is it under new business?
6C.
The very last.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Bolivar Harpers Ferry Library Board, discussion and action regarding an appointment to the library board.
Nominate Karen Sagisi.
Okay. Any other nominations? Nominations are closed. And so, vote yes or no for the appointment. Storm?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jesse?
Yes.
Christian?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
So that motion should say that 5-year terms would extend it to June 30th, 2031. What we're doing.
Okay. Okay.
That is a cartoon year.
Just so you know, the ordinance does require 2 citizens from Harper's Ferry, and our other representative is Maggie Block. And her term runs through the 30th of 2027.
Okay. Yeah, the nomination would be for the remainder of the term, so. Commission. Public Works Administrator.
Okay, our calculated unaccountable water last month was 39%. We sold about 3.4 million gallons, and we filtered somewhere around 5.5. That's I think last month I reported something a little bit better than that, but still, that's I think that that number seems to be pretty solid, and hopefully closer to 30% once we get a few things finished off. I don't know when we get into Deb. I don't know how much of an update we'll get with some of the various projects, but I can give you a little bit of an update with the meter replacement project. We have approximately 770 meters have been installed. There are approximately 20 meter pits that they visited that they couldn't do anything with. We're going to have to get in there and try to figure out how to put in a setter or do something so that we can shut the water off at that meter pit so we can swap out an old meter. And then I did not direct them to get in and do a lot of the inside sets. We had probably about 10 of those. These are homes that still have the meter inside the house.
Wow.
And there are, and we're going to leave them inside the house, but there are issues with valves inside the house, and I did not want them basically operating a valve inside someone's house that then might start leaking, and with no way to shut it off. So those we still have to address, and then they have put in a number of the larger meters. Both of the apartment complexes now in Bolivar have meters. The one was installed about 2 years ago, but that one's now tied into the system for reading it. And the other apartment complex, the one that had the fire recently, their meter has been now replaced with a new meter. We have a number of probably the biggest job we have task ahead of us. We have with the large meters is to kind of coordinate efforts with Park Service, and there are numerous facilities, and we are working on getting a clear picture of what inventory is required to do that work, so that we can then sit down and have a discussion with the maintenance folks at the Park Service and see if we can arrange a schedule to get in there and inside and do that. And that's pretty much where we stand. We did through a bit of gnashing of teeth, we did manage to get the bills out using a combined system of some meters that were manually read and many meters that were read through the system. And that's looking as though we will get the kinks worked out of that, and hopefully this month coming up not have quite the same number of issues that we did on this go around. But the bills did go out. Pretty confident that they were accurate and complete. So that's good.
That's exciting. So Radio Read is now,
Oh, yeah, and we do have a letter from the park superintendent for our collectors. This is a letter of no objections for both the high acre attic and the tank, and that was very critical that we have that on record. So we now do have that. The council's been working, members of the council have been working with the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club to get the lease signed, and hopefully that'll happen this week. And that then the collector for High Acre, since it's just going to plug into a wall socket inside, we should be able to bring that in and install that before the end of the week, if provided that the lease agreement is in and it's termed, at a time when we can then get in and put that in place. I think that's probably about it. Is there any questions?
Are you gonna have a battery backup on that?
Yes. Well, yeah. And that was one of the things that when we were speaking with some of the folks from Borderline, the distributor who is, that we purchased this whole system from, they were saying something about having to reset it after power outages or power glitches, and resetting. That's one of the primary concerns, I would say, of the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club, to be to provide us access on a whim, shall we say, have to get in there and reset it. So there will be a small, UPS that will be as part of this whole kit. And actually, we're going to put same thing on the one up in the tanks, so that if there is a slight power glitch, then at least we will be protected from that. Speaking of power glitches, I do not, for about a week now, I've been without a signal from our tanks. We are trying to work with the manufacturer of that package and try to troubleshoot it, figure out what we're going to need to do to get that back online. I suspect that was from the power glitch, and may have been because it wasn't, I'm not sure, may have been because it wasn't properly grounded when it was installed. So we're working on that. We're going to try to get that up and going soon. But
Manually, you have to roll up there and.
Yes, but at this point, we know the pattern of how we fill the tanks. And really what we're most concerned about up there is that we don't overflow. And the only time that we're really in danger of overflowing them with the schedule we have now is on Wednesdays. Late in the day on
Wednesdays, I'll watch out.
So, but my way up here, I swung up there and got a number for Brandy, so she could record it. But like I said, we're pretty comfortable with what the pattern is. If something were to dramatically go wrong, and all of a sudden we were to start losing water precipitously, we don't have the advantage of being able to see that, from the control room. But like I said, we're working on trying to get this one resolved soon. All right.
Okay.
That's good.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Stacy.
Thank you.
Water Commissioner report.
The chair is not here. I will just, I would like to just let people know that there was discussion at the last Water Commission meeting about the surprisingly large charges for the March bills of a good number of the water customers, and there's still some mysteries in that, but we are working with ways that the council might address that to the customers. So that is liable to come up next month.
Okay. Thank you. Treasurer's reports and approvals, review and approval of financial reports.
Okay, great. So we're looking at month ending May, which is 91.6% of the fiscal year. Our income less reserves is 1,363,000, or actually 103%. So when your revision 7 comes around next month, that'll equal out a little better. And operating expenses are about 96%. In water, you're at revision 2, so this is the revision that we decreased our income, and the overall performance is 89% with customer billings at 91. So we're coming right in on that target number better. Expenses at 82.5. So any questions specifically on the financials that you received?
I move to approve the financial reports as presented.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, approval of invoices and purchases.
Yes, so Deb has the list that has been distributed. On one of them, there is an invoice for one of the police vehicles that we want to look into a bit more. But beyond that, and Deb, do you want to describe generally the invoices beyond that?
We have the annual retainer for the website development. We have the repair for the water dump truck and some maintenance of mains and materials for the meters that were purchased back in May, and then our annual assessment for the Public Service Commission. So all those invoices are here and available for review. And then, as you said, the first item was for automobile maintenance for the police department.
I move that the invoices and purchases be approved as submitted, with the police vehicle repair invoice to be reviewed by the police chief and mayor before dispersing the funds to the vendor.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Budget and Finance Committee, discussion and action regarding distribution system phase 1.
Yes, so we did the heavy lifting on this at the special meeting, and those easements that were approved are in process, and everything is on track to begin that construction.
Yeah, probably in August for Gilbert Street.
Okay. Item 2, discussion and action regarding FY24 distribution system phase 2 water meters.
We heard most of that from the Public Works Administrator. The data integration is in the works right now. The EPA had its visit, and they were, I believe the word instead, were thrilled with the implementation, and they were impressed by how prepared the town was for it. And we already have, from the meter implementation, portable access, we have leak detection that has already turned up a few leaks. But once we have the data integration, then we'll be looking at public portal access to be able to look at our individual bills. And also,
yeah, the leak detection, to be clear, it was leaks that were getting alerted regarding customer side leaks. So eventually we will have main side leak detection, but we have been able to help a lot of people with high usage in a very swift manner. So yeah.
Okay.
And there is no resolution this month. The work that was performed for the installation of the meters will all come in next month.
Okay. Item F3, discussion and action regarding update regarding FY26 CDS distribution system phase 3.
So this water distribution improvement project is now in the hands of the engineer and is moving forward on schedule.
Okay. 4, discussion and action regarding maintenance of mains contract.
Yeah, Deb, do you want to describe the bills we have?
Yep. So we have 3 bills from Greenridge for work on Spruce Street, Putnam, and Mercer. Spruce was $2,700, Putnam was $2,862, and Mercer was $4,800. These were all leaks that came up during the month of June, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that was a new meter tap. Oh, so that will be somewhat reimbursed by the, offset by the capital capacity fee. Right.
I move to spend up to $10,000 to pay the Green Ridge invoices for maintenance work.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Discussion and action regarding waterworks vehicle.
So I'm going to turn this over to Jesse, but the short version is the vehicle has been identified with a lease arrangement that comports with our policy as far as not encumbering future councils.
So it's a 2026 Ford Maverick hybrid, front-wheel drive. And just a basic service vehicle. It will arrive on the line in Frederick the 20th and 21st and will be available, you know, as soon as we wanted to go collect that. I am going to call West Virginia Department of Highways tomorrow and just ask about their vehicle purchase program and inquire, assuming that there's no profound changes, you know, or information I get from them, we will carry forward and move forward with the lease.
Okay. And other details are, I believe it came out to be $610 a month on the lease, and that's well under the $700 budget that we had previously set. I moved to lease a new Ford Maverick from Frederick Motor Company with a purchase price of $29,525 per Ford financing quote number 106108 with a 60-month term at 8.34%.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Six, discussion and action regarding water.
We can do this in next year, or we can move to executive if it goes further than that. But the Public Works Administrator is currently working on a lead for a Class 2, and also working with the subject matter expert on developing a Facebook ad in pursuit of the experts we need for the waterworks. And we discussed this in Budget and Finance this afternoon. Another potential avenue is to work with the area technical schools, Blue Ridge, Rumsey. So that's something that can be worked on as well.
Okay, thank you. 7, discussion and action regarding FY27 coal severance revision 1.
Yeah, so I'll read this in lieu of you, Kevin, since you're sitting in the mayor seat, and also bring to your attention that when I did this 2 weeks ago, I didn't realize Mayor Vaughn wouldn't be here, so it is written in hard copy that you have as Mayor Vaughn. I will read it as acting Mayor Cardin, and I'll revise this tomorrow then, so that you can authorize recording officer DeConstanzo to sign it. So that's how it'll be written, and then he will only have to make the signature tomorrow. Okay. So this is the resolution for full severance, fiscal 27 budget revision 1. At a regular session of the Municipal Council held on July 13, 2026, the following order was made and entered. The revision of the levy estimate of the town of Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. The following resolution was offered. Resolved that subject to the approval of the state auditor as ex officio chief inspector of public offices, the municipal council does hereby direct the budget to be revised prior to the expenditure or obligation of funds for which no appropriation or insufficient appropriation currently exists, as shown on budget revision number 1, a copy of which is entered as part of this record. The adoption of the foregoing resolution having been moved by, and we'll do that when we get there, and then duly seconded. So you can, and then I'll read the end of it, and then you can do your motion. So after you make your motion, whereupon acting Mayor Kevin Cardin declared and said resolution duly adopted, and is therefore adjudged and ordered that said resolution be and The same is hereby adopted and so stated above, and the recording officer is authorized to fix his signature on the attached request for revision and approved budget to be sent to the state auditor for approval. This basically increases that coal severance budget by $70 and reallocates the amount of distribution to the fire department to an increase of $840. And the rest of the fire department contribution comes out of your general fund.
It's a lot of reading.
I move to approve the fiscal year 27 coal severance revision 1 budget as presented.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in
You
favor?
have to do roll call.
Sorry. Storm D. Costanzo,
Yes.
Yes.
Isabel,
Yes.
Christian,
Yes.
and I vote yes.
And then Storm, if you can come in tomorrow and sign for me, we'll be good.
Okay. Any discussion regarding
Yes, so continuing education is recommended or required of our police officers, 16 hours of training. And the proposal is to potentially combine with other forces in the area and to bring instructors up from Charleston. So extraordinary expenses would be hotel for probably 2 instructors, projector, and per diem. So I move to assign up to $750 to facilitate police department continuing education, pending potential collaboration with other local police forces.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion?
Can I add that that'll be adjusted in the fiscal 27 revision 1, which will come to you at the end of the month. And it also includes the meeting room.
Yeah, thank you. All in favor? Unanimous. 9, discussion and action regarding town website.
Yes, work with Revise continues, so feedback has been solicited from the various committees and commissions. Thank you to Jesse Melton for that. Site map has been submitted to the vendor as well as high resolution photos, and the next thing will be a formal kickoff call, and then they're going to start building it.
Okay. 10, discussion and action regarding FY27 Historic Landmarks Commission funding request.
Yes, so Landmarks had requested funds for 2 different projects, and we discussed them. We want to facilitate them, but there was not complete information per the town's purchasing or per the town's spending policy, which all bodies must follow. So I'm going to make these motions. The first one, move to allocate up to $1,800 to historic landmarks for expenses related to vacant and blighted properties out of 911 Historic Landmarks Commission upon receipt of appropriate documentation to include but not limited to a detailed budget and/or quotes.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on that? All in favor? Unanimous.
And similarly, I move to allocate up to $750 to historic landmarks for editing services related to Appendix A out of Historic Landmarks Commission 911 upon receipt of appropriate documentation to include but not limited to a detailed budget and/or quotes.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on that? All in favor? Unanimous. 9, discussion and action regarding FY27 budget and funding for the Appalachian Chamber Music Festival.
Yes, the Appalachian Chamber Music Festival did provide documents for their fiscal year spend, and this is for the, I think this may have been mentioned already, the concert that's coming up on the Store College lawn and a couple of pop-up concerts in Lower Town. I move to distribute up to $3,500 to the Appalachian Chamber Music Festival out of 906 Arts and Humanities upon receipt of appropriate documentation.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on that? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. G, Ordinance Review Committee. Yeah, we had think 5 items on our agenda that we discussed, and we have none coming before the council tonight. I don't have my written report in front of me. I forgot it at the house when I was. And so we have no action at this time. Internal office operations general report.
The chair is not here, but there has not been a meeting since the last.
Okay. New business discussion and action regarding an open house hiring event.
That's me.
Okay.
So, a few weeks ago, I had and this is, I'm doing on my own. This is not through any of the committees or commissions, but I had a discussion with Steve, and he was a little frustrated about the lack of hiring employees. So I gave it a lot of thought about what we have been doing so far. And I was thinking just doing the same thing, like putting ads in the newspaper or using Indeed.com or a recruiter and all. We have been coming up dry. So my past, I used to work at General Motors. This is a while back, but I was a promotions research manager for them. So I'm very familiar with doing promotions. So what I was suggesting that we do is a Harpers Ferry open house hiring event, because we're looking to hire, I'm not really sure, but we're between 3 and 5 people, I believe. And this way we do it like in an afternoon. It's a low cost thing. It takes a lot of work though. It'll take a lot of the staff and I will volunteer and others. And this event I outlined is a combination of AI. I use AI and what I put in it. And this would just be a one-day event. We have a really great opportunity to sell the story of working for a public company, a public institution like Harpers Ferry. And I think we have to kind of sell it up, build it up, and create some. I think there's community would like to get know more about it. They may have friends, neighbors. There may be other people. This could really spread around where we don't have to. We might get a lot more candidates, and we're going to get those other ways. So this is not an action item. This is just a discussion, whether there's any merit to pursue this. But I think we have to go out of the box. I know we've never done this before, but it's doable. And I think we can find some good people out there who'd like to work for the Corporation of Harpers Ferry.
I think the concept is awesome, and you're right. We haven't done it before, and I think it is good. You know, we do need to do a better job telling our story. I think we have some other things that have to be sorted out, like more saleable job descriptions and some things like that. But I think this is definitely something we should keep on the books. This is a good way forward, and perhaps we're going to need police officers and other people in the future. This may be the new way. Thank you. I think it's awesome.
Christian, do you have any suggestions on what the costs would be that we'd encounter in holding an event?
Well, it's really going to be a lot of stuff being involved in doing this, but a lot. This is really a low cost thing. I mean, we're not really advertising much. We're doing things through Facebook. We're going to do whatever we can on the community, in the newspapers nearby, the community news things that they have there for posting events. And maybe we can do a story with a newspaper talking about what we're trying to do here in Harpers Ferry. I don't think it's going to be a big costly thing to do. I mean, refreshments, and it's going to be an exciting time. We're going to have police car out in the driveway. We're going to, in the parking lot, we'll have a water works vehicle out there. We'll maybe get a fire truck over here. We're going to make this like a real festive event, and we're not hiring anybody at this event. This is just to generate traffic. That's all it is, and hopefully we get some names and phone numbers, and emails, and follow up with them to set up for appointments for proper interviews.
If I can suggest, it's really cool, but in a slightly different spin, for the purpose to highlight the job opportunities now and in the future of Harpers Ferry, But if we post it as a town open house, like we did the one police department the past couple of years, it was really great. And absolutely have hiring as one of the main features, but to have it be, I mean, for assembling this, I think it'd be a great opportunity for people to be able to see, like, and touch what the town does in some way, and then have absolutely great banner on a table about employment opportunities.
Get your jobs here.
But a lot of people don't realize that public service is, there's great benefits. I don't know about the pay per se, but I do know the retirement and the healthcare benefits are pretty important. A lot of people work for maybe small businesses and they don't have much opportunity in those areas. So this would give them, we need to let people know that this is a good job and you can be here for a long time. You can have a career here at Harpers Ferry. So we just need to think like a company. We need to think like a business would. But we're not a business, but we need to think like that to generate a lot of business. And it may not even happen this time. Maybe later on we'll get some more, we're just going to get recognized that, hey, Harpers Ferry is a good place to work.
Yeah, we'll plant the seed in people's minds. It's great.
Okay. Is that it? All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
B, discussion and action regarding previously approved but deferred parking enforcement expansion and permit announcement.
So at the February 9th meeting, we discussed beginning parking enforcement on all town streets. And we were going to make an announcement to that effect in the newsletter, reminding everybody, residents and businesses. We're going to do a reminder in the newsletter and a mailer to all residents and businesses in Harpers Ferry that parking enforcement would be beginning on all streets. At that time, it was April, I think, but we decided to wait on that because of the staffing changes downstairs, and we are revisiting that. I would like to bring that back to our attention and move to make an announcement informing that every home and business in town that parking enforcement throughout town will commence on August 15th, 2026, be made in the next town newsletter and sent at the same time.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on that? All in favor?
By the way, it's a really good idea that we do this. It's important, and I'm glad we're doing it. We have, normally we've done it much earlier in the year, but this is jumping on it. Good.
Okay, all in favor? Unanimous. And discussion and action regarding completing the installation of signs at intersections of paper streets.
Jesse, you want to describe it?
So we ran this through Budget and Finance earlier today. It was essentially, and Zach also mentioned it, planning and wanted to complete the project, install posts and signs at the intersections of all the paper streets, informing people if this is public property. We have an unknown number of signs and an unknown number of posts and an unknown number of amount of hardware, and there are some unknowns with the amount of labor involved in all that. But this would, this motion here would provide up to $500 to make that happen. And we would be communicating with Larry and the mayor and Kevin Hamilton and planning to make it all go. And so this will be, I move that the paper street sign project be completed by posting signs at the ends of all paper streets where they intersect with other town streets.
Second. Oh, Mayor, offer an amendment?
Yeah.
That the mayor work with the maintenance department to develop the inventory of paper, street signage and materials.
I approve of that amendment.
In the second, so
Okay. All right, any further discussion? All in favor? That's unanimous. And that is the end of our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
It's weird. Oh, so who's the second? I think it's Chris.
I moved. I don't
There's
know.
no second. It's you.
It's me.
Second.
Me. We got in one.
And we are adjourned.